Hello! Welcome to Chelsey's book Nook. Today I am going to talk about the first 8 books in the Pretty Little Liars series. So, since 2012, the TV show Pretty Little Liars has been one of my guilty pleasures. And when I learned that it was a book series, I wanted to check it out since I enjoyed the show so much. And I finally got around to it. I've read the first 8 books, and this is a comparison of the show and the books. So, I am not going to give away the final plot twist. So don't worry about that if you haven't read the books. But like little things from both the books and the TV show, I will talk about. So if you haven't read one or you haven't seen the other, there will be some spoilers, but there's not going to be the major spoiler. I'm also not going to talk about minor differences that don't really change the plot that much. Like, for example, in the book, Emily is white with blonde hair, and in the TV show, she's played by the beautiful Shay Mitchell, who is Asian, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's all about the actor, not them being perfectly looking like the character. So, the major differences will be the timeline, who they date, the girls' personalities, and the secret siblings plot twists of the TV show versus the plot twists of the book. But I'm not going to ruin the book. Don't worry. So first, the timeline. In the TV show, Allie goes missing right before their sophomore year of high school starts, and then they find her body, or what they think is her body, a year later. In the book, Allie goes missing the summer in between 7th and 8th grade, and it's 3 years before they find her body. So both the TV show and the book start off at the beginning of the junior year, but it's been a longer time since all of the girls have last seen Allie. And I think for the books, it makes it a bit more serious with all of her secrets, all of the disappointing and naughty, bad things that she's done. She was 13 when she did all those things, not 15 or 16. So at least for me, for conservative me, that was like, oh my gosh. So another timeline in the TV show, Mona's reign as lasts their entire junior year, and in the book it's only the first few months of their junior year. She has found out, and everything with Mona gets put to rest before Christmas break. And for the TV show, lengthening it out for their entire junior year was good for a TV show perspective because it gave them more episodes and more seasons. If they had followed the books perfectly, the Pretty Little Liars TV show would only be maybe 2 seasons. It would be a very short series, so that's okay. Also, after Mona is discovered, we know from the TV show is that a new A comes to torment the girls. And in the show, New A's reign lasts their entire senior year, just like Mona's reign lasted their entire junior year. In the book, New A's reign begins after Christmas break of their junior year and only goes until Valentine's Day of their junior year, so about a month and a half. So once again, it's really short, and once again, the TV show had to lengthen it so that they could actually have a decent length TV show. The boyfriends / girlfriends. So Spencer in the book only dates Ren and Andrew Campbell. Ren, Melissa's ex-fiance, and in the book they're actually not even engaged. He's just her ex-boyfriend, and Spencer only dates Ren for like a week, and Ren is a total sleazebag in the books. He's cheating on Spencer with Melissa, and Melissa knows that, but she doesn't care because she wants to get Spencer back. And anyway, Ren is just a big cheater. He's a cheater. Spencer dates Andrew Campbell for a bit longer, a few months, and she's really happy with him, and he's a really great guy in the books, and he plays a super minor character in the TV show. So that's Spencer's dating history for the first 8 books for her junior year. Hannah is dating Sean at the beginning of the books, just like in the TV show, and they break up rather quickly in both the TV show and in the books. There's some minor differences in the details of their breakup, but the next person Hannah dates is actually Lucas, and oh my gosh, I love Lucas in the books. He is such a sweetheart, and I mean, he really could have gone that way in the TV show, but they made him way too jealous in the TV show. In the books, he is such a sweetheart, and he's actually liked Hannah since 6th grade. And he was actually popular and cool in elementary school, and then word got out that he was going to give Hannah a Valentine in 6th grade, and Allie spread the hermaphrodite rumor that ruined his reputation and ruined Hannah's ability to start dating him back in 6th grade. And I just think that's really sad and awful, and no matter any way that the books or the TV show try to redeem Allie, I don't think she can be redeemed from that. That's just awful. It's awful. So, unfortunately, Hannah isn't in a good place when she's dating Lucas, and she's still super obsessed with popularity, and Lucas breaks up with her because of that. And her next boyfriend is Mike Montgomery, Aria's little brother. And I love Mike and Hannah together. Mike is kind of a goof in the books. He's not as serious as he is in the TV show. But he really changes for Hannah, and he's so sweet to her, and she really falls for him, and I love them together, and I wish that the writers had put them together in the TV show, because that would have been awesome. Emily starts off dating the same guy in the TV show as the books, her swimming boyfriend Ben, and they break up relatively around the same time, same issues, because Emily is coming to the terms that she likes Maya, and so she does date Maya next, and her parents are not okay with it. Like, her mom struggles in the TV show, but in the book, her parents go super extreme and actually send her away to live with her cousins in another state on their farm. And that doesn't work out because her cousins are super crazy conservative Christians, like way extreme. And so she runs away, and when she ran away, that scared her parents so bad that they decided to accept her wanting to date Maya, and they accept Maya. Her relationship with Maya is short-lived, and it has nothing to do with, in the TV show, it's because Maya can't give up her marijuana and is running away from her parents. In the book, it's actually because Emily cheats on Maya with another girl named Trish, and then Trish turns around and cheats on Emily with Noel Kahn. So poor Emily just can't figure out the dating game at the beginning of the series. Then she dates another boy, and his name is Isaac, and And that's kind of like a whiplash moment because you're like, wait, I thought Emily was coming to terms with the fact that she's a lesbian. And Emily's confused by it too because she actually is physically and emotionally attracted to Isaac and invested in him. And so when she's telling him about her past with girls, she says, I guess I just like people. So maybe Emily might be bi, and maybe we'll explore that more in the books 9 through 16. I'm not sure. I just barely started book 9 today. So we'll see, but things don't end well with Isaac either because his mom is crazy and doesn't think that any girl is worthy of her son. And I think a lot of us have been in those kind of relationships. You know what I'm talking about. So hopefully Emily has better luck her senior year in high school because her junior year romantic life was a roller coaster. Arya starts off with Ezra, just like in the TV show. She meets him in a bar. That's all the same. What isn't the same is the police actually get called on him. And that makes me so happy because I just can't condone a student-teacher relationship no matter how romantic you try to make it sound. It's not appropriate, and I'm glad Ezra got taken out of Arya's life rather quickly. And so Arya, but before all that happens, Arya actually dates Sean, Hannah's ex-boyfriend, and they kind of hint at it in the TV show. Arya spends homecoming with Sean in the TV show while Hannah is off trying to find out secret information about Jenna and Toby. And Sean sends Arya some flowers, and she tells him, don't go there. Hannah's your girlfriend, and I'm one of her best friends. In the books, Sean and Arya start dating after he and Hannah have broken up, and that makes Hannah super mad at Arya, so they're not friends in the books. And Mona sends Sean a picture of Arya and Ezra kissing, and Sean breaks up with Arya and calls the police on Ezra, and Ezra gets arrested. The charges don't stick. The school decides not to press charges because they don't want any bad press, so they just fire Ezra and try to keep Arya from saying anything. So that's how that one went down, and it's slightly better than the TV show in my opinion. I know I'm a minority in saying this of the TV show fans, but I don't like Arya and Ezra together, and I'm so glad the books sent him away, at least for now. Maybe he might show up in the books 9 through 16. I hope not, but we'll see. After Sean, Arya dates Jason De Laurentiis. When it comes to the TV show, he's my favorite boyfriend of Arya's. And TV show wise, I wish Arya would have ended up with Jason. And book wise, Jason's a little unhinged, and I was really sad when their relationship briefly ended briefly. They only go on like 2 dates. So I guess it's hard to say if I would have wanted them fully to be together because they didn't get deep enough to fully explore if I really liked them together. But my TV show bias says I would have liked them together. After Jason, Arya dates Nook, and she briefly dates him in the TV show, but it's under way different circumstances. Like in the TV show, she dates him because she's trying to get over Ezra, and Hannah pushes her on him on her. But in the books, it's Noel is fully invested in Arya, and he likes her throughout the entire first 8 books, and he is so sweet in the books. Like, I'm really disappointed with how the TV show wrote him in as, like, you know, he's not, he's kind of wishy-washy in the TV show, and he is on the more evil side of the characters. So, but in the book, he's just sweet, he's genuine, he cares about Arya, he helps her deal with Allie's death, and he has his own difficult story with a brother committing suicide, and they help each other out, and it's just really sweet. And I'm like, why wasn't this Noel in the TV show? Because I like this Noel, and hopefully I'll continue to like him in the next 8 books. So our fan favorite Caleb wasn't in the books. Maybe he's in the next 8 books and the show pulled him in early, or maybe they just full on wrote him in for because they wanted to. I don't know. Toby also never dates Spencer, and we'll get to that in the next section that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, Toby does go on a date with Emily, like in the show he goes to homecoming with her, but it's not at all like the TV show. And I mean, TV show bias, I'll get to it, but I would have liked to see TV show Toby instead of book Toby. So, so the next thing I'm going to talk about that's a major difference are the deaths, who dies and who doesn't die. So in the show, there's a lot of deaths. Ian dies, Maya dies, police officer Garrett dies, and he's not in the first 8 books. Maybe he's in the next 8. I don't know yet. And that guy, Maya's stalker. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name, and now I'm filming. You watched it in the 3rd season. The guy that killed Maya, he dies also in the show. The character Shauna dies. She dated Paige. She was Allie's friend. Mrs. De Laurentiis dies. Cece Drake dies. Noel Collin dies. Mr. Fields, Emily's father, dies. So there's a lot of deaths in the TV show, and some of them are part of the main plot, and some of them aren't. In the first 8 books, there are 4 main deaths. Toby does die that night of his date with Maya. Emily. He overdoses on drugs in the woods that night because everyone thinks he's guilty of killing Allison. And so he was a really messed up character in the books. In the TV show, it has Jenna forcing him to be in a relationship with her, but in the books it was the other way around, and he assaulted his stepsister, and so that's really unfortunate. And kind of frustrating that the writers then decided to make him a good character when he wasn't. That's frustrating. Mona actually does die. So when they find out that she's A in the TV show, and she's zooming in the car with Spencer, and she gets out and they're fighting, and she kind of falls down that ledge, and so you're like, wait, okay, just kidding, she's in the mental hospital. No, when she falls off the ledge in the book, she actually does die. Mona is gone. And my guess is the writers kept her around because she must have created really good ratings. She's a great character in the TV show. So Ian dies in both just like in the show and the book. And Jenna actually dies in the books. She's murdered by New A. So I I appreciate that there were less deaths in the books, because I feel like there were so many deaths and so much violence in the TV show that it slowly desensitized the viewers to it. And so I'm glad that there weren't as many deaths in the books. Of course, I haven't read the next 8 books, so there could be more deaths there. We'll see. The next major difference are the girls' personalities. They're basically the only, basically the only thing they share between the TV show and the books aren't their names. And so, like, right off, in the TV show, in both the books and the TV show, after Allie goes missing, the girls kind of stop being friends. And in the TV show, they come back pretty much immediately after Allie's funeral and slowly regain their friendship. In the books, however, it takes the full first 8 books for them to be friends again. And because I'd seen the TV show first, like, book after book, I'm like, okay, are they going to be friends again? Is this the book that they're going to be friends again? And so, looking back, I kind of wish I hadn't been so focused on that, because I might have enjoyed some of the books more than I did if I hadn't been like, oh my gosh, it ended and they're still not friends again. But that's what happens when you watch the movie first. I've learned from that. So, Arya in the book, she's really shy and she's really quirky, and she's not fashionable at all in her clothing choices. And she's really artsy. She's artsy in the show. They try to give her that in the show, but she's just a much more, I don't know if normal's the, but yeah, she's a much more normal teenager in the books when it comes to, being shy, and she's a wallflower. And Emily is also shy. She's athletic. I guess TV show Emily is closer to book Emily compared to the other girls, because they do try to exhibit that in the TV show with her shyness and her unwillingness to enter confrontation. But she still does have her feistiness in the show, and there's no feistiness in book Emily. Like, there are many times where confrontation begins to happen and she physically runs away in the book from the situation that she's in, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, what, that wasn't her in the show. Spencer is still super smart, but it really isn't the same. She has to work really hard for her grades. Like, she's in all AP classes and she struggles really bad in AP economics, and she doesn't hardly understand anything in that class. Once again, there's nothing wrong with that, but show Spencer is like smart in everything, and book Spencer has to work super hard for her good grades, because of the family that she's in. Spencer, though, is kind of frustrating because she just isn't very nice. She's not a very nice person. She's obsessed with earning her parents' love because they give it to Melissa more. And if that hadn't been written in, I think the reader would have a hard time feeling bad for Spencer, for all the crap she gets from A, because Spencer herself is kind of a brat. But with the drama with her parents, then it's like, okay, I can feel some compassion for Spencer. Hannah's the same way. She's a total brat, and she's obsessed with being popular, and she doesn't have any true friends. It's all about whoever is popular is who she will be friends with, and whoever will keep her popular is who she will be friends with and who she will date. And then she starts to, and she goes way overboard when her stepsister Kate starts going to Rosewood, or her stepsister to be. Her dad hasn't gotten married yet. And I mean, Kate is a brat too. Like, I don't feel sorry for Kate, but if Hannah's dad wasn't so horrible and if Kate wasn't so horrible, the reader wouldn't feel bad for Hannah ever, because Hannah is a brat, in my opinion. But when she starts dating Mike, she actually starts to become a normal person, and I'm pleased with her by the end of the 8th book. Finally. She was a tough read. She and Spencer are the reason why some of the first 8 books didn't get a full 5 stars on my Goodreads review. So, Allie's pretty much the same in the book and the show. I mean, the majority of Allie are just the girl's flashbacks and memories. You know, the biggest difference is that she was so much younger in the books, and so some of her behavior, it's like, dang, girl, you're only 13. Why are you acting like this? Why are you making some of those choices? Once again, my naive, conservative viewpoint. Though there is like a side book called Allie's Pretty Little Lies, and that entire book you're in Allie's head, and so you actually kind of get an idea of why she does the things she does and says the things she says. And she has spent the majority of her life, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to ruin the amazing plot twist at the end of the 8th book, but Allie has felt insecure and powerless the majority of her life, and she gets that power back when being friends with Arya, Hannah, Emily, and Spencer. And so she holds power over them by basically holding their secrets over their heads and being nasty towards them. And it makes her feel powerful, and it makes her feel good. And I honestly think that Allie is mentally unstable, and she's unhinged, and she's crazy, honestly. You know, the TV show really does try to redeem Allie's character, and there's no redemption in the books, and I'm kind of glad, because she's not a nice person. I mean, but at the same time, you know, redemption is good, and everyone deserves a chance of redemption to, if they choose to, you know, use a religious word here, repent of their wrongdoings. And I think the TV show attempted to have Allie repent of her wrongdoings, and she does for the most part, but I don't feel like they did a good enough job of Allie's repentance process. And in the book, it's 0, and which is unfortunate from a standpoint of someone who believes in redemption, but also from the way the books are written. I'm glad she wasn't redeemed without a true repentance process. So anyway, these personality differences, I think, and I'll fully admit that this could be just bias from watching the TV show first, but I think I prefer the TV show characters to the book characters, because they're a bit more bold, which you need for TV, and you don't need that as much for when you're reading something. But I also feel like the girls have a better character development and growth and learning process, and like Spencer and Hannah have 0 growth and learning in the book. Arya and Emily are better in the book, are easier to like in the book. But I don't think any of their book characters would have done well on screen, which is why they changed them so drastically for the show, which is okay. So there's that. And the final change from the books to the TV show, from the TV show standpoint, I'm calling it the secret sibling plot twist. So I will fully give away the TV show's ending, but I'm not going to do that for the book. So in the TV show, New A is Cece Drake, a character who we meet in the 3rd season. And we learn that Cece was born Allie's older brother, Charles. And she's now a transgender woman, and so she's now Allie's sister. And she's legitimately crazy. So then on top of that, we learn a season later that Cece actually isn't Allie's biological sibling at all. She's Allie's cousin. She was born to Allie's aunt that Allie didn't know existed, named Mary Drake. And Mary Drake is Allie's mom's secret identical twin sister. That was a mouthful. So, and then we learn that on top of that, Spencer has a secret identical twin sister who is evil and is the 3rd A of the series. And Spencer isn't even her mom's daughter. She is her dad's daughter, but she's not her mom's daughter. She is Mary Drake's daughter, so she's Cece's half-sibling and Allie's cousin. None of that happened in the book, at least so far. There is a who New A is, oh my gosh, is simply amazing, but I'm not going to tell you because the books are super new still. I'm just going to say, if you like the TV show, read the books, because New A and that plot twist is super amazing. Like, ooh, I get tingles just thinking about it, because, I mean, I haven't seen that kind of plot twist in a while. And so yeah, the course of the first 8 books, average star rating was 4 stars. Some books got 5, some got 4, some got 3. There are 8 more books in the series. I started book 9 today, and I will be reviewing those books at a later date and also comparing them to the TV show, if as I read them though they did influence the TV show or not. I'm not sure yet, so we'll see. But that's Pretty Little Liars books 1 through 8.